So I know this is a little more adjacent to some of the topics we've talked about today, but is there anything that either of you would like predominantly white churches to take away from this conversation? Is there a way white pastors like myself can either step to the side and centralize other voices, or a way we can be prophetic to our white congregations to name a different way here? Anything you have to share in that area?
The main thing I would suggest is to be honest about the reality of the world in which we live, right? Race is a thing. I went to a high school that everything was covered under, we're all one in Christ. We don't really see color. If you don't see color, then you don't see me. I am visibly a Black woman. So to tell me to my face that we don't see color ultimately means that you don't see me. Now, I'm not saying that every sermon should be about race and anti-racism, but we know that white power has the biggest piece of the pie of this table, right? And so if you are in a position of power, what are you doing to use that power for the greater good? So if that means, even if you're in a fully white church, that your ministerial staff, they're doing anti-racism training. They are going into communities not to evangelize, not to do missionary work, but they are going into these communities to make sure that they are living and espouse theology that represents the totality of God and how we all are one. You know what I'm saying? And so that would be the biggest thing. You have to sometimes put the books down and get with people. Because our lived experiences, they're also sacred texts.
That's right.
Some things will never be in a book, but I can sit down and have a conversation with you about how that impacts me and how it made me feel as your congregant. And this is how you can grow forward if you wish to be in community, in Christian community, with people who are not like myself.
I'm kind of starting to think about assessment. So why are there no Black people in your church? If you do a deep evaluation and self-reflection as a congregation or as a community, I think that's really important to really kind of discover, because people of color are the global majority. And so for your church to be completely white, you really need to think about why that is and what message that sends to even the white children that are in the church. So maybe you are doing sermons that have anti-racist aims within it. That might be a start, because I know for some in an all-white church that has an anti-racist message, that can be tolerated well, or it can go very wrong, and you might be thinking about funding. People aren't going to want to go here because this pastor is preaching these things. But I think some of the white pastors have to be willing to disrupt and take risks in the pulpit and beyond. Maybe that means inviting Black community members to your church. Maybe it means including Black music throughout your service, and not in a way that is just like we're just doing we're just
not
doing
just
this
on Martin Luther King Jr.
Right. This is
a Black History Month.
It's not just Black History Month. So actually integrating Blackness into the worship experience, or hiring Black ministerial staff.
And not just to get the Black sound either.
Right.
Because that's also a thing.
Absolutely. Or including Black preachers or Black clergy persons in the pulpit. Like, is there not an invitation out for Black pastors or Black preachers, Black ministers to come and preach in your community? And so actually doing intentional work to be more inclusive and celebrating in that sense.
That's really helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.